So this period of time with this generation of consoles is the first time in history that you can actually build a gaming PC for a similar price that actually performs similarly to a console. Now, if you're willing to go used, you can actually get amazing performance for the money. The PC I'm featuring in this video was built with used parts and cost me $200, but that $200 includes all of the hardware, the operating system, and I was even able to squeeze in a keyboard and mouse from a second-hand store, all staying under the $200 budget. Now, the point of this video is not to declare a winner and say PC is better than console or console is better than PC. This is simply going to be an objective comparison between the two to show you what your money can get you, depending on what you buy. Now, I decided to compare the PC to the PS4 for a number of reasons. The first being it is the most powerful of the two current-gen consoles, and its used price is the closest to the $200 PC, with what I've seen as an average used price between $220 and $250. Now, I just want to kind of put things into perspective before diving into benchmarks and comparisons. The first thing is that it's definitely easier just to buy the console. You buy it, plug it in, and boom, you can get right into games, whereas with the PC, you have to scavenge for multiple deals and install the parts and operating system, so it's definitely more time and effort if you go the PC route. Now, in terms of extra cost, the PC really doesn't have any. You can play online for free, whereas the PS4 you have to pay $50 a year just to play online, which could get you quite a few games from a site like G2A if you decide to go the PC route. Now, in terms of functionality, the PS4 gives you the ability to play games, watch shows and movies, and browse the web. The PC also allows you to do all of that and everything else you can do on a PC, including editing photos and videos, working on documents, and much more. So let's talk about the hardware these two machines are rocking. Consoles with each generation have become more and more PC-like in terms of hardware. The PS4 has an 8-core AMD APU, which is a chip that has both a CPU and GPU die on it, and the PS4 has 8GB of GDDR5 memory shared between the CPU and GPU, and it also has a 500GB hard drive standard. The PC has an Intel Core i5-2400 quad-core processor, 8GB of DDR3 memory, an HD 7870 with 2GB of GDDR5 memory, and it also has a 500GB hard drive. In terms of raw performance, the PC wins by a long shot, but the reason consoles can compete and produce such good performance for the specs is because of optimization. When a game developer is making a game for the PS4, they just have to make sure it runs well on that one specific set of hardware. Whereas when a developer is making a game for the PC, it has to make sure it works with what is essentially an infinite number of hardware combinations. This allows the developer to focus more on optimization for specifically the console set of hardware, allowing them to squeeze the maximum performance out of it they can. Oh, and one thing people may say is, why didn't I include the cost of a monitor in the price of the PC? And to that I would say, for the same reason I didn't include the price of a TV with the console. Both can be plugged into any display device that has the supported inputs. So in terms of games, I picked 4 games that run well on both the console and the PC. These games are GTA 5, Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor, Metro Last Light, and Overwatch. So just as a disclaimer, I don't own a PS4 or the equipment to benchmark a PS4 for that matter, but luckily for us, there are plenty of benchmarks and performance reviews online for all of the games I want to compare. So the most important thing is to find the PC equivalent settings for each of the games tested so that it will paint a better picture of comparative FPS, because unlike the PS4, the PC has the ability to adjust settings to get more FPS and smoother gameplay. So the first game I would like to compare is Overwatch. Overwatch is a very new title that runs very well on both platforms. The PC and PS4 versions really don't have that noticeable difference in visual quality. If you crank the settings up to Ultra or Epic on the PC, you'll start to notice some differences, with the PC offering better anti-aliasing and a few other minor improvements, but where the PC looks the most similar to the PS4 is at the high settings preset. At the high preset, the PC is able to achieve a locked 60 FPS, which is great, and it never dips below the 60 FPS mark, which is very impressive. The PS4 also aims for a locked 60 FPS at 1080p, and even though for the most part it does manage to produce this, every once in a while it either dips slightly in FPS or resolution, which is not ideal. Turning the graphics up to Ultra on the PC produces a similar frame rates to that of the PS4 with infrequent frame drops, but with better overall visual quality. Though yes, the game does look slightly better at Ultra, I will still always choose the high settings with locked 60 FPS. So in Overwatch, even though it is very close, the PC gets the slight advantage with the ability to stay at a locked 60 FPS with 0 frame drops at 1080p high settings. Moving on to Metro Last Light, this is a game that actually runs amazingly well on the PS4 with a locked 60 FPS at 1080p. Not so much can be said for the PC in this case. Once again, the high preset seems to be the most similar graphically between the two, and while playing the game, the PC averaged in the mid-50s, which is still very playable, but it isn't as good as the PS4's locked 60 FPS. So in Metro Last Light, the PS4 has the advantage and really shows how well it can perform with the proper optimization. The third game we're going to look at is Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor. This game once again looks the most similar to the PS4 at the high preset, with the PC having slightly better textures, but not much more noticeable differences at those settings. The PS4 is able to play the game at a locked 30 FPS, which is playable, but is also almost half of what the PC can produce, with the PC outputting an average of just over 60 FPS at the high preset, and messing with the settings a little bit, a locked 60 FPS can easily be achieved. So as you can see, in Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor, the PC has a pretty big advantage performance-wise over the PS4. Finally, the last game I would like to compare is GTA 5. The PS4 equivalent settings are somewhere between high and very high settings on the PC, with the PC giving better textures and model details, and the PS4 giving you seemingly softer shadows and better depth of field effects. On screen are the exact settings I used for the PC. These settings did give me a 60 FPS average with dips into the mid and upper 50s when driving at very high speeds or during explosions. The PS4 on the other hand produces a locked 30 FPS, meaning the PC is giving you almost double the FPS in GTA 5. Once again, the PC has the clear advantage in this game. So overall, as you can see, the PS4 does perform very well, but in most cases it does not perform as well as the PC. I tried to pick 4 different and diverse titles to paint a fair and accurate picture of these two machines' performance. Sure, I could have picked 4 games the PS4 runs at 60 FPS and it would have looked like a much closer fight, or I could have chose 4 PS4 games that run at 30 FPS and made it look like it wasn't even close, but I hope what you took away from this is that these two machines actually produce pretty similar performance, with a game like Overwatch performing almost exactly the same on both. So I guess it's conclusion time. Like I said at the beginning, this isn't about choosing a winner and a loser. This is just meant to be an objective comparison to show you what your money can get you. Really, the main point of this video was to show that you can build a PC that performs similarly to a console for around the same price and get all the benefits a PC brings, like being able to get work done on it. If you want to see the full video about this PC or the guide I made about how to make a PC like this one, go ahead and click the card above or look for the links in the description down below. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video because I certainly enjoyed making it, and if you did enjoy it, make sure to smash that like button and consider subscribing for more technology and PC related content. And as always, this is Matt from Tech by Matt, signing out.